What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the so-called sleeper cars from Japan's 70s lineup. The ones that were supposed to look boring on the outside, but secretly pack a punch. Except, these didn't. These are the wannabe wolves that turned out more like sleepy house cats. These are the 10 worst Japanese sleepers of the 70s. And trust me, some of them will make you wonder how they ever got away with the badge. Number 10. Subaru Leone Coupe RX, 1972 to 1979. Before Subaru was out there dominating rally stages with boxy turbo monsters, they were experimenting with sporty aspirations in cars like the Leone Coupe RX. On paper, the RX trim looked like Subaru was ready to get serious. A coupe body, a beefed-up flat-4 engine, and suspension tweaks that suggested fun was at least part of the plan. For buyers in the mid-70s, the Leone Coupe RX looked sharp enough to compete with other Japanese coupes, and Subaru was positioning it as a machine for drivers who wanted more than just a daily commuter. The reality, though, was more modest. The engine delivered just enough grunt to keep things interesting, but not enough to keep up with the era's true performance heroes. The RX was heavier than it looked, and its gearing made acceleration feel sluggish. Handling was decent thanks to Subaru's engineering quirks, but it still lacked the razor-sharp character that enthusiasts wanted. As a result, the Leone Coupe RX lived in this strange middle ground. It was sportier than Subaru's regular lineup, but not sporty enough to truly thrill. Still, it deserves respect as one of Subaru's stepping stones. Without the lessons learned in cars like the Leone RX, we might not have gotten the legendary Impress Us and WRXS that followed. The RX was Subaru testing the waters of performance, dipping its toes into a world they would later conquer. As a sleeper, though, it felt more like a nap. It had the outfit, it had the badge, but it didn't quite have the moves. Number 9. Honda Accord CVCC, 1976 to 1979. The Honda Accord CVCC deserves a round of applause for changing the automotive game. Even if it never earned applause at the drag strip, the CVCC stood for Compound Vortex Controlled Combustion, a mouthful of a name for Honda's groundbreaking engine design. At a time when automakers were scrambling to meet stricter emissions laws, Honda figured out how to burn fuel more cleanly without a catalytic converter, a huge achievement that put them years ahead of the competition. Regulators adored it, fuel misers praised it, and the Accord cemented Honda's reputation for clever engineering. But as a sleeper, the CVCC was more sheep than wolf. The engine was efficient, yes, but it was not powerful. You got excellent mileage and clean air, but you didn't get the kind of punch that would surprise anyone at a stoplight. Instead, the Accord CVCC was all about reliability, smoothness, and being in the right place at the right time. This car saved drivers money at the pump and proved Honda could hang with bigger players on the global stage. But for enthusiasts looking for a hidden street rocket, the CVCC was about as exciting as a calculator that never runs out of batteries. Ingenious, yes. Thrilling, not so much. Number 8. Nissan Cedric 2000 GX, 230, 1971 to 1975. The Cedric 2000 GX is proof that not every sleeper is about hiding turbochargers under the hood or sandbagging horsepower numbers. This car was more about slipping quietly through the 70s with just enough muscle to remind you that Nissan could blend refinement with a little bite. It carried a 2-liter inline-6, which already set it apart from the smaller 4-cylinder crowd of the time. That engine gave the Cedric smooth power delivery and a hint of grace on the open road. But the car's heavy body and comfort-oriented suspension made sure it never turned into a backstreet brawler. Where the Cedric 2000 GX really scored points was in its presence. It was sharp-suited and polished, the kind of sedan you'd expect to see parked outside a high-end hotel in Tokyo rather than tearing up a back road. That was part of its charm and also part of its downfall as a sleeper. It had the looks and the straight-six pedigree to hint at performance. Yet when you pushed it, the Cedric's character leaned more toward gentlemanly cruiser than undercover speed machine. For enthusiasts, it remains a fascinating piece of Nissan's history. Not the most thrilling sleeper, but a stylish sedan that carried its GX badge with quiet confidence.